If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people, so how the stand up?
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them.
It's full of homo hating ass. It's like they got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play this shit. You know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive dicks, and it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my mother. You get me?
It was the longest 12 hours of my life. Like, I was just waiting downstairs and I was like, get the contract down here. One sign, one sign, one sign. I was so hyped. I didn't sleep for the next 3 days.
There is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side.
For years, whispers have followed the biggest names in the music industry. Rumors that the people at the very top don't just create hits. They control everything behind the scenes. Even Kanye hinted that reaching that level isn't just about talent. It's about power, influence, and stepping over anyone in the way. And when the same powerful figures keep appearing around every scandal and every fallen star, it stops looking like coincidence. Katt Williams has been warning about this for years, claiming the industry plays by a completely different set of rules. So tonight, we're not pushing conspiracies. We're simply laying the stories you already know side by side and asking one question. If Diddy was the face of the chaos, who was really pulling the strings behind him?
If you take people like Jay-Z and T, they made their living killing our people, so how the stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best hit for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth about anything, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
When Kanye talks about someone using the machinery, he's hinting at a long pattern of power moves. From his early Def Jam connections with executives like Liar Cohen to partnerships with massive players in sports, tech, and streaming, Jay-Z has always stood right beside the people controlling the biggest deals. He was never just another artist in the room. The room eventually revolved around him. That's why fans started re-examining moments like his collaboration with Marina Abramovic. What looked like a simple high art performance at the time now feels, to some, like a glimpse into the elite circles. Jay was already comfortable moving in while the rest of the industry was still focused on chart hits.
Harley passing, they follow me to hotel. The killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't play the Backstreet Boys sample.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Harley Pasternak, Pusha, your trainer. Harley Pasternak, Jay-Z. You get what I'm saying? And then around for the money on some Mike Rubin, slap the Mike Rubin. I see that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro. I'm on my Farrakhan Don now, bro, because guess what? These Yeezys gonna sell. They sabotage the show today.
When Kanye talked about being threatened with getting sent back to Zombieland, many people saw it as more than just a wild comment. It sounded like a glimpse into how powerful circles protect themselves. In that kind of system, the loud names caught in scandals aren't always the ones truly in control. The real power often belongs to the people who stay just off camera, quietly choosing the partnerships, shaping the narratives, and walking away untouched while everyone else ends up in the headlines. And when a crisis hits, the easiest way to spot who really holds power is simple. Watch who rushes into the fire, and who calmly steps back from it.
I love when famous people think they can delete a post and it's gonna go away forever. Honey, we saved your post. Lizzo, the woman that has been accused of SA by 3 of her employees, got on the internet trying to defend Jay-Z. And you know, those accusations about Jay-Z, it's related to the Epstein list. Don't worry, Lizzo, I saved the post. I'm gonna make sure that everybody sees it.
In the comments, I knew she was wrong. Jay-Z, I knew he was... What did it say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996? Come on, people. Like, y'all are falling for it. It's the easiest, oldest trick in the book. And honestly, I'm losing faith in the average intelligence of the American person.
Wait, are you suggesting that you're smarter than the average American person because you're famous? Anyways, go on.
just because somebody's name is mentioned in a 3 million document file of a person's life who's been lived over crimes who've spanned decades, doesn't mean that every single person is an accomplice. He could be mentioned. He referenced Jay-Z once. He was like, oh, we could learn from Jay-Z's business model. Why y'all? Where's the crime? Focus.
I bet whoever does your PR had a straight up meltdown when they saw that you made this post, because there are claims against you that are so bad I can't detail them in this video. Yeah, and everybody has been wondering for years why Jay-Z gets to walk free while everybody around him seems to get in trouble. And then here you are getting on the internet trying to defend him. Well, I hope from this little event, this little you posting the video, taking it down, that you will realize the internet is forever, and lots of us love to use our phones store it.
Jay-Z's name appeared in newly released documents. The internet reacted instantly. Screenshots, hashtags, and quick judgments everywhere. Lizzo stepped in publicly, urging people not to treat a mention in a huge file dump as proof of guilt. But behind the scenes, the quiet moves told another story. Fans noticed several high-profile figures and brands suddenly distancing themselves online. No statements, no drama, just silent space. That contrast says a lot. While some defended him openly, others chose quiet brand protection. And in moments like that, the way powerful circles shift around someone can reveal just how high up the ladder their name really sits.
Yo, don't put out no movies. I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Yeah, I could have put out movies. I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yo, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there playing Vegetable World, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and shit on R. Kelly's rap. No. You can't tell me, you won't sit here and tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cypher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
When Nas reflects on those old studio days, he's not making accusations. He's revealing how normal those environments once felt. Veteran hitmakers, teenage artists chasing a breakthrough, and late-night sessions where nobody questioned the power dynamics. Now place that beside Rihanna's early story. A young artist suddenly sitting across from one of the most powerful men in music, signing a life-changing deal and later admitting the moment overwhelmed her. Her nervous jokes about being told how to speak, act, and present herself hint at the quieter side of the industry's reality. And when the same powerful figures keep appearing at the center of those moments, people start to look back at the old footage differently, because the stories that stick the most are the ones that slowly change how everything else is seen.
Speaking of PTSD, you made a comment about this. Like, this was from the Super Bowl appearance more recently. This bothered you, seeing her put the Rockefellers logo out there.
If you
what was
go
your
back
instinct to that?
and watch, it was almost as if she didn't want to put her hands up, and then she looked over where Jay-Z's box was, and then you just see her hand. She look at her. She's looking at his box. She didn't want to do it. She didn't even want to do that gig. But the hold, especially the financial hold with the companies and all of the money and all of the strings that he pulled to. He treats these women like shell corporations.
Is that why this happened? Do you have any insight on this infamous elevator video where Solange was seen just unloading on him? Beyonce's there as well.
What I will say is, right there, that's the moment when he told her to back up and called her Tito Jackson.
Respect and love to Tito Jackson, who we just lost recently.
I know. Tito could never get a break, and he's the nicest guy.
But here, yeah, Jay-Z trying to mimic, she's not worthy, she's nobody, is what he's trying to do.
Pretty much is what he pretty much said to her. But the thing is there was infidelity that was happening that night. Both of them got caught doing things they weren't supposed to do. I believe there might have been some DV that happened. And people who know Mr. Carter knows he doesn't have a problem with putting his hands on his wife. Plenty of people know that to be true. Solange is different. Allegedly, Solange is different. She's old school Southern, and she loves her big sister, even when her big sister makes mistakes. She stood up for her sister. The most interesting thing about that, though, can we look at that one more time, Andy? They come in, and all of this, and then look, it almost looks like he's going to defend himself, but instead he prostrates himself, right? He lets Solange go nuts, and he sits there and acts. He knows that camera's there. He knows where all the cameras are in that place. There's another footage, and I'll get it and I'll send it to you, of him with another woman approaching him aggressively, or it seemed like aggressively, and he stabbed the crap out of her. Matter of fact, there's at least 5 different shows over the course of the past 15 years where he has physically attacked women that came into his space that he didn't want anywhere near him. So I find it funny that in all those other instances, he had no problem with putting his hands on a woman to so-called defend himself. But when he's getting killed alive with cameras there, all of a sudden now he's meek and mild. I think that was a setup. I think he did that specifically to handle up on Solange.
Jaguar Wright talks about Rihanna doing whatever Jay-Z says because of his temper. She's basically asking people to rewatch old clips with a different lens. Moments that once looked like simple politeness suddenly feel more like careful control. Tone, smiles, and silence becoming survival skills in rooms ruled by powerful personalities. In that view, artists like Rihanna and Beyoncé weren't just protégés, but women learning exactly how to move around the center of power. And even moments like the famous Solange elevator incident start to look less like a random outburst, and more like one rare moment where tensions inside that circle spilled into public view.
A lot of people have been hitting me about, how could Jaguar Wright know all these things, right? And how, Jaguar Wright hasn't worked with Jay-Z since, when she did the Unplugged. That's a long time ago. Well, I can tell you just from what I've experienced is the people that have contacted me since I've done like your show and since I've done other shows, people have contacted me, other victims, and have sent me. Obviously, there's been some people that have sent me stuff that, doesn't check out or whatever, but victims have contacted me and they have sent me proof that can never be disputed, photos, everything else, because they don't want to bring their story out, but they like what we're doing. So they're whistleblowing, but they're doing quietly to protect their jobs and to protect their families and to protect, whatever. They're not comfortable speaking out. So if I've got all kinds of information in the last 2 months, just from doing, shows like you guys, I can't imagine all the stuff that Jaguar Wright has got and to her, and the access that she's seen and the people who have came to her. Like, she has such a bigger reach and such a bigger audience than me.
Then Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, adds another layer to the story, but in a much quieter way. He doesn't repeat the most explosive claims. Instead, he simply admits that far more was happening behind the scenes than the public ever saw. According to him, key decisions about Rihanna's image, relationships, and career moves weren't always entirely her own. And when the person responsible for shaping the public narrative hints that the real story was far more controlled, it shifts how people view the power dynamics involved. Taken together with other testimonies, it begins to feel less like ordinary celebrity drama, and more like a system where the real decision-maker stays off camera while everyone else plays their role.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Katt Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Who died of an imaginary aneurysm.
Jaguar Wright talks about the pattern around Jay-Z. She isn't just naming people. She's pointing out a cycle. Over the years, figures like DeHaven, Dame Dash, former associates, and now even Diddy often end up at the center of controversy, while Jay himself remains just outside the blast. In her view, that's not coincidence, it's strategy. Let louder personalities stand in the spotlight, enjoy the chaos, and when things explode, they become the headline while the architect quietly moves on. Whether you believe her or not, the pattern she describes raises an uncomfortable question. Has Jay simply been incredibly lucky? Or has he always known exactly where to place people so he never has to stand in that spot himself?
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. Yeah. But now, it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
He talks about some artists choosing to fight back, even if it costs them everything. He's really drawing a line between two kinds of careers. The ones who quietly follow the industry's unwritten rules and rise to the top, and the ones who question those rules and slowly disappear from the spotlight. At one point, he even joked that there was no other side secretly running things, but the silence he got in response unsettled him. No one laughed. No one corrected him. And moments like that make people wonder just how deep a system runs. Because sometimes the clearest sign of power is what happens to the people who refuse to follow the script.
There's no such thing as our side and God's side.
I am strong. This happened to me. I didn't cause this. I didn't do it. This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody. There are a lot of women who've experienced what I did, but not in the public. So it made it really difficult. I just felt like, oh my God, here goes my little bit of privacy. Just people exposed, like it's something that nobody wants anybody to know. So here I am, the whole world knowing.
Why be ashamed?
Because I didn't want people to think that that's the kind of person that I fell in love with that person. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing that that's the type of person that I fell in love with. So far in love, so unconditional that I went back.
On average, I think it takes a woman 7 times before she leaves.
8 or 9, actually. And I don't want that to happen. That's not what I want to teach people. But again, people, I'm a human being, and people put me on a very unrealistic pedestal. And all these expectations, I'm not perfect. Also, it's pretty natural for that to be the first reaction. It's completely normal to go back. You start lying to yourself. The minute the physical wounds go away, you want this thing to go away. This is a memory you don't want to have ever again.
That sit-down was meant to look like a clean redemption story, but the way it was presented did something very different. It locked him into a single role. The problem, the cautionary tale, the example everyone points to. The machine knows exactly how to magnify one person's worst chapter until it overshadows everything else about them. And what's even more interesting is noticing who never gets framed that way. No matter how many rumors or controversies swirl around their name, they somehow avoid becoming the headline. That contrast alone makes people start asking deeper questions about how the narrative is really shaped.
Everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... She's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Jaguar's point isn't simply that Beyonce knew, it's that empires at that level rarely happen by accident. In her view, everyone close to the center, partners, spouses, protégés, learns the same unspoken rule: protect the brand at all costs. Even if that means overlooking things you'd never accept from anyone else. That's how a single image stays spotless while careers and controversies swirl around it.
The diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados? Yeah. Okay.
She's Bayesian.
Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She had a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her rules when I first heard the song. And then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Okay. Then, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m.
Wow.
That day. I was absolutely certain.
To you. Oh yes, he said we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door or something. Oh, then he said, he said it one word. I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady. He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
Looking back at that old clip of a teenage Rihanna nervously laughing while describing her deal, it hits differently today. At the time, it probably felt normal. Everyone around her treated it like just another step in the business. But watching it now, some people see something deeper. A moment where a powerful figure was already shaping how her story would be told and how she had to fit inside that image. None of these moments are smoking guns on their own. They're patterns. Young stars molded into a bigger vision, loyalty protecting the brand, and powerful figures who always seem to remain just outside the spotlight. And eventually the question shifts from what did he do to something more unsettling. What kind of rooms was he always standing in?